Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Bria from Curvy Girl Resale, and I have my husband here with
Special
me.
guest.
Special guest.
That's
But
right.
you might be a regular guest.
Never know.
Never know. Why are you being all mysterious?
Ooh.
You're so extra. Okay, so my Poshmark closet is Curvy Girl TN. And so recently we started the Hubs a Poshmark closet and
Sure
an
did.
Instagram account to go with it. So tell us what your name is, babe.
Esco Resale.
Esco Resale. Okay, so let's talk about the reasoning behind the name for this. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you're cute.
No, I love you. So eventually at some point I want us to have a corporation of some kind,
Yeah.
and our last name is Swearingham, but the Swearingham Co. didn't really roll off the tongue.
It doesn't really roll off of any tongue.
No. And people are always like, how do you say that? How do you spell that? What?
How do you spell it?
Swearing-
Swaham?
Swearingham with an H.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're experimenting with that name title. So anywho, I'm on Instagram as Curvy Girl Resale TN. If you can't tell by my country accent, the Hubs is on Instagram as
Esco Resale.
Esco Resale. So
That's right.
all right, so let's talk about my sales this week on Poshmark, or this past week. One of the things that I have been doing that I feel like is really, really helping me is mixing my sold listings in with my regular listings.
Mhm.
So, excuse me. I know in Poshmark world, when we share our closet, we tend to not reshare the sold, so they all just filter down to the bottom. But I was in a Facebook group, in the Poshmark Analytics group, and there was several suggestions that instead of letting all your solds filter to the bottom, you mix them in with your regular listings.
Yes.
So that seems to be working for me right now, honestly. Although I know I've seen other people say this doesn't work for me. But again, there could be so many different factors, whether it be your pictures or your pricing or your, descriptions or whatever. So that was the only thing that I have changed in the past 2 weeks. And that seems to be working for me. So
Yeah, I know I have a few scattered through, and I've been getting more likes on things. So
have you been sending out offers?
I have.
You have.
Bundling and all.
Bundling and all. So
That's right.
the Hubs is trying out my other strategy of when somebody likes something, you share it to their bundle and you make them an offer. And
And it's been working. I've been getting pretty good responses from it.
yeah. So I mean, one of the things that we have figured out is nothing seems to work all the time on Poshmark. So it's not like you do something and then every time I do this it's gonna equal a sale. That just doesn't happen, right, babe?
Not gonna happen, Kevin.
Not gonna happen. So we'll keep piddling around with it, and
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll let you know.
So you're in what week on Poshmark?
This is second week, actually.
This is your second week.
Yeah.
And so do you have any observations, like things that you notice as a newbie, like things that are frustrating or annoying?
Well, the things that I've noticed is when I go in and community share,
Mm-hmm.
I get good responses as far as people community sharing my things, but also I get good responses if I don't community share and I just follow people, because when you follow somebody, a lot of times they'll go in and share your closet anyway.
Yes, yeah.
So then that'll give you more time, because I can follow people a lot quicker than I
you
can community share.
share. Yes.
So if I follow people, I can follow people in half amount of time as community sharing, and then I could take the rest of the time to share my own closet.
Yes. So that's another thing that we've kind of been experimenting with this week. So is following, because I used to community share a whole bunch, and I still do community share. I'm talking about I don't want to be spending hours on the computer community sharing. So what I'm experimenting with right now is, instead of 1,000 community shares a day, follow 1,000 people and maybe instead do 200 to 300 community shares, because I can follow 1,000 people a lot faster than I can community share 1,000 items.
And trust me, I mean, I community shared too. I've community shared over 6,000 times in the past week.
Yeah.
So,
well, and so we have talked about too that we think that the reason that Poshmark wants you to community share is because it gets you in the feed, like scrolling and looking at what people have. So it'll probably end up in, sales. But also too, even not from that perspective, because I realize that could be kind of a more negative way to look at it. And so I like to look at the positives. Poshmark is a social.
It's a social platform.
It's like it's a social platform, so it's almost like social media for business, in a sense. So I do like to community share because I like to spread the love and try to share other people's stuff. At the same time, remembering that we are, trying to build a business, and so you can't be busy building everybody else's stuff if you're not building your own.
Yeah, and I believe in it too. I believe in community sharing also.
Yeah,
to help other people out. But I don't think it helps you that much.
I don't think so either. But I mean, this whole year for me on Poshmark, I started on Poshmark in August, and so I'm about to hit $1,000 in sales. That's not $1,000 profit. That's just $1,000 in sales. But my profit's not very far up under that because I don't just spend a whole ton on inventory. But when I started Poshmark in August, I said, you know what, I'm going to do this for a year, and this is going to be a year-long experiment to see what works and what doesn't work. And that no matter how hard it gets, if I don't make any sales, if we lose a bunch of money, that we're just going to experiment for a year.
Yeah.
So, all right, then also, and y'all know I always have notes because I don't like to ramble, and I can't stand it when people just ramble in their videos. So, okay, so also, me and the Hubs went to the thrift store yesterday on lunch, and what? You're singing, oh God. What did I get you to do for me?
Well, she had a brilliant idea, as always, per usual. But are you okay?
Keep going. Something's happening with my hair, always.
Okay. But she was like, well, we might need to get a flashlight of some sort to look at the clothes, because I was saying how thrift stores normally have pretty bad lighting, and then when we bring it home, we put it under our lighting kits to take pictures and stuff. That's when you can see all of the flaws.
Yeah.
So I popped my trusty dusty phone out, turned on the light, and just went over each item, and literally 4 of the items that we picked up
had stains on them,
had defects.
Yeah.
And which we wouldn't normally have known if we wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean, and Goodwill usually is not bad for me on this, but City Thrift tends to be, that's the other thrift store here. Several times I have purchased things and then gotten home and realized that there was a stain on it, and I've looked it over in the thrift store, but the lighting is different, and so when you put it under those bright lights of your lighting kit, then you're like, oh crap, this has a stain on it, which you can try to get the stain out and all that. And I don't like to sell stuff that has stains on it, even though oddly enough people still buy stuff even if it's got a stain on it, as long as you disclose the stain. So I was picking stuff and Babe was going over it with a flashlight. If you follow us on Instagram, you probably saw that on my Instagram stories.
Yeah.
But whatever. So a tip that I would, or a thing that you may want to experiment with yourself this week to see if it helps with your sales, mixing your sold listings in with your regular listings. So I probably do 1 sold listing every 8 to 9 listings. And you think about it too, okay, we are sellers on the platform, but I remember as a new user when I first got on there, I was like, nobody's selling anything, like their closet all has all this stuff in it, and I didn't know that you didn't see the solds until you got to the bottom of the closet. And so for those of us who are sellers, if you see another seller with their sold listings mixed in, you're like, that's annoying, like move your sold listings to the bottom, come on. But think about it from the perspective of your customers or the new users. They're like, oh, this is a place that people want to buy from because they've got stuff that's sold.
Well, because someone new coming into Poshmark that doesn't know anything about it, they look at your listings and you might have 1,000 listings and you might have like 200 at the top and they don't see any sold anything. They're like, well, they might not be trusted. So
right, they're like, you got 1,000 listings and nothing sold.
And I've scrolled through 200 of them and nothing has sold. What is wrong with you?
Right. So I know that there's some people who are like, that's really stupid. There are always going to be people that say stuff is stupid, but they're just negative Nancys, and we don't welcome them here.
I don't like Nancy.
Honey,
the negative
you can't
one.
say that. My God. Now we got to put out a disclaimer that we do like Nancy's.
No,
people and their
like
soft
Nancy's.
feelings. Okay. Anywho,
We do like Nancy's.
We do like Nancy's. But I am in a constant state of experimentation with Poshmark because I want to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and nothing works all of the time. This is business, this is sales, and one of the things that I have been reminding myself of this week is I cannot control the market and when they decide to buy, but I can control myself and the daily activity that I'm doing every day. So,
that's right.
So yeah, you got anything else you want to add, babe?
I think we pretty much covered the bases. So
you guys, the Hubs got this. We got a box of clothes from a friend yesterday, and he got this Tommy Hilfiger sweater that was supposed to be listed and sold, but he's wearing it. I too. Nope. I too am wearing 2 pieces that were supposed to be listed, but they are now on my body. A pair of LuLaRoe leggings and a what's the name? Kim Rogers cardigan. So it happens. It happens.
It happens.
Are you sad when I don't list stuff, but I wear it instead?
No, I want you to have the world.
Honey, quit! Let's turn this camera off! Okay. Okay. All right, so if you guys want to stay connected, follow us on Instagram and follow us on Poshmark. My Instagram is CurvyGirlResaleTN. The Hubs is Esco Resale, and I will link those up in the comments below.
And if you continue wanting me to be on the videos, just leave your comments below.
Leave your comments below.
If not...
Honey, I think you might be on the videos anyway, because it's nice to have a co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah. You cute, too.
You cute.
Stop it.
I like
We're
her.
now making people throw up. Okay.
Sorry, people.
We hope you guys
Don't
have...
mean to make you sick.
You're interrupting my ending. I can't do it now. God. We hope you guys have a great week, and we will see you next week.
Bye, America.
Bye, guys.